Very true. But then when you look at, where emphasis has been laid, you have talked about infrastructure. Only recently we had one of the world's richest men and great philanthropists, Bill and Melinda Gates, come to the country and talk about how we seem to have placed emphasis on certain things that we should prioritize other things better. For instance, health and education. So when you look at, say, northern Nigeria and look at the indices of health, of education, of poverty levels, for instance, can this government really say that in that area or in those areas we have done well?
Yes, we've done relatively well. You see, we have not achieved our target. That is the truth. We have not gotten to the point where we want this country to be. But if we look at the process, we know our destination and we are working towards getting to that destination. I agree with you, there's still quite a lot to be done. It's a process. Government is addressing the issue of health challenges. Government is addressing the issue of education. But you see, we must look at it also from a holistic perspective. There are infrastructure that has to be put in place upon which you can build the others. When you talk about road infrastructure, for example, it affects our living, it affects agriculture, it affects movement. If you talk about power infrastructure, it affects even our normal living, our ordinary lives. So we have emphasis. I agree with you that there is need for us to achieve all our expectations in one day. If you look at the party manifesto, all these issues are addressed. But the point is that it's a gradual process. We're working within the limits of the resources that is available to government now. By the time this government took over, oil had dropped to about between $20-something to $30 per barrel. And it affected projections.
Mr. Moghalu, I want to ask you, people have looked at how the APC has managed the levers of power since it's assumed office. And if you look, for example, the PDP, as much as people, of course, criticize and, lament kind of that era, you didn't have the kinds of infighting, I don't think, between the executive and the legislature that we've seen in the last 2.5 years. That whatever it is that they wanted to do, they generally, as a rule of thumb, bought into it together. In the APC, it seems like your worst enemy are yourselves. Why is that, and how do you correct that ahead of the next election? Is it even possible?
Yes, why not? You see, like I said earlier, APC as a political party is a human organization. And various interests must come to play, no matter how you look at it. The issue here is, how do you manage it? And I think the management process is on. At times you find out that some of these supposedly crises in quotes or disagreements, at times they're exaggerated. At times they're exaggerated. The reality on the ground may not be as bad as some news media would like to present it, depending on the perspective from which they're saying what is happening. But the truth is that we have created communication channels, and it's being taken advantage of by both the executive, by both the legislature, by both the political party. So there are communication channels that has been opened, and we have to be talking to ourselves up to a point where we'll get very much used to ourselves.
We know the election is coming up very quickly, it seems, by the day. INEC has announced that 8 million PVCs are yet to be collected across the country. What is your party doing right now to ensure that, at a minimum, your membership is amongst those who have collected their PVCs and are ready to engage in the process?
We have started talking with our party members across the country. At even our last NEC meeting, the issue came up. We advised the party leadership at the various state levels to mount serious voter education so that people can go and collect their PVCs. We also, as a party, we've also encouraged INEC. And let me also use the opportunity to appeal to INEC to up the ante with regards to voter education so that people will understand how that your voter's card is your power. That is very important that you collect it and use it for the next election.
I find it very interesting. I remember prior to the 2015 elections, your party, the APC, had run a campaign, encouraging Nigerians to go and pick up their voter cards and, to register and all. This is 2018 now, less than a year shy of the elections, and we haven't heard anything from your party.
No, we have.
Are you still going to be encouraging Nigerians, as you did in 2014, to pick up their cards and vote?
Oh, yes. We will continue doing what we are doing. We'll keep talking to the people using the various party channels.
Because it would seem that when a party is in opposition, you find out that there is more enthusiasm on their part encouraging Nigerians to go out and vote, but not the party in power.
No, that may appear to be the norm. It may appear to be the norm. But the truth about it is that for us, as a party, we understand the importance. We're encouraging our people because we'll be shortchanging ourselves if our people don't collect their PVCs. If Nigerians don't have their PVCs, because they are the people to decide the fate or to decide who and who they want in office to lead them in any election. So we're encouraging people. We've told our party structures, both at the state and local government level, encourage your residents, encourage the members of your community to go and get their voters card. And I'm sure that the publicity secretary of our party may have a program to give it a national outlook.
How are you dealing with the perception? Some people have been complaining that, oh, we think that there is a plan to disenfranchise us. I'm sure you heard some members of Ohaneze Indigo suggesting that perhaps there was a plan to disenfranchise people from the southeast. Did you hear that?
No, if Ohaneze thinks like that, Ohaneze should also mount campaign and encourage our people to go and take their voters' cards. Because INEC said the voters' cards are being produced. The voters' cards are lying in INEC offices, and INEC offices are spread across the country in every local government. So I expect that such organizations, such cultural organizations like Ohaneze, even other groups, should please help in encouraging people to go and get their voters' cards. So we have a role to play. So nobody's disenfranchising the Southeasterners. I don't think so.
Mr. Mogalo, you know, there's an old axiom that, you know, the greatest enemy of a champion is his own success. You know, when you hear many of, you know, your party members over the airwaves, you'll hear things like, oh, Nigerians should thank the APC because the president, or we should thank the president because he has, you know, said that he's going to be going for re-election. And there's so much confidence that he just cannot lose because PDP is so bad, etc., etc. Do you believe that is there no threat that the ruling party has a kind of a hubris that will disable it from seeing real and active frustration and disenchantment in the society ahead of the election?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Because, you see, one thing about any incumbent is that what you build on, what sells you in every election is what you've done. Because you're going to come to the marketplace, you're going to come to the open campaign field and say, I've done this, I've done that, I've done that, I want to build on it. If I have additional chance, I'm going to improve on what I have done. But you can't just come as an incumbent and if you don't have anything you've done, Nigerians will be the judge. They will look at it and say, no, you can't defraud us a second time. So most of the people who say that are saying it based on the confidence, based on what they have seen the president has done.
But does the ruling party have the humility to go out and ask people for their votes in view of the perceived, you know, this notion of, you know, self-achievement that's
No, you have to go out. You have to go out and market yourself. You have to go out and campaign. You have to go out and sell your candidate. All of us will be in the field. The moment INEC says start campaigning, everybody goes on to the streets and start marketing our candidate, whoever emerges at the primaries for the presidency. Just like the governors, just like the chairman of local government, you have to go and market yourself to your constituents. You have to tell them what you've done. If you are in office, you have to tell them what you've done. You have to tell them what you want to do to improve on what you've done. But if you are not in office, you're coming from the opposition perspective, you come and tell them what you think you will do better if you're given the chance. So you have to go and market yourself. It's not about confidence now. It's about going to sell your candidate.
Well, we have to thank you most kindly for coming on Sunrise Daily. Dr. George Moghalu is the National Auditor of the All Progressives Congress.